We finished the production of The Edge, the most bipolar project I've ever worked on. It was both exciting and stressful. It was amazing, yet the most difficult thing out there. I worked with amazing people, and yet we had to get all that talent to get together. Every single time we needed to shoot something. And Baruch Hashem, 2 years later, we have The Edge. One of the most amazing projects to come out in the film world ever. I want to thank the Ribbono Shel Olam for giving me the opportunity to be able to work on this project, to be able to do this project, to be able to complete this project together with the most amazing people out there. First, I want to thank my wife for being there for me, for giving me permission to do it, and helping out in so many ways. Rabbi Nachman Seltzer, you were the driving force behind this project. Rabbi Nachman is the most talented person I know. Not only is he talented, he's a go-getter. He's a pusher. There's no such thing as a to-do list by him. As soon as he wants to do something, he just does it. There's no such thing, all right, let me write it down. There's no writing it down. I remember one time when we were trying to get permission to be able to film in the aquarium in Eilat. He's like, okay, so we'll call. So I said, all right, I'll call them later on today. He's like, give me a second. He takes out his phone. And he's like, Nachman, who are you calling? So he tells me, I'm calling the aquarium. Let's find out. He's an amazing person to work with. He's done so many projects in his life. The next person I went over to was Avram Nosson Cohen from Film Dust TV. Avram Nosson is definitely the most skilled person I know, the most knowledgeable person I know regarding everything. From graphics to editing to special effects to After Effects. He'll be able to tell you the lyrics of any song that ever came out. He's the first person I approached and I asked him, Avram Nosson, are you on board? And Avram Nosson came on board, and he is definitely the one that made this production happen. There's no chance it would have happened without him. The next person, nobody really knows about him because he was the quiet one, was Aaron Troy. He was production manager. He was the one that 5 o'clock in the morning was making sure that everything was ready for the next day's shoot. Nothing real would have actually came together without Aaron. Baruch Hashem, a short while after Rabbi Seltzer approached me, we got the script, and then we started off with casting. We did our auditions, and Keith Gav, he came on. There's one word to describe Gav. He's a rock star. He is a rock star. He's the most fun sport, aside from his acting, which is amazing. He came on board, and every minute that I spent with him, and I spent a long time with him, was a blast. We were able to hang him off a bridge, throw him into the water, head him by a car, everything. And everything was like, yo, let's do it again, mate, let's do it again. He is awesome. Gav, for every minute we spent together, and I just spoke to you a couple of minutes ago on the phone, you're one piece of rock star. The production was amazing. The hardships that we found along the way, and Baruch Hashem, we were able to get past them, shows if there's a will, there's a way. And if you ever really want to do something, you'll make it. We had a robbery where a lot of the footage, a lot of the equipment was stolen. We had one of our hard drives broke before we were able to back it up, and a lot more footage went missing. Tuvia almost died on the waterfall, and I had to fly back to Eretz Yisrael, and Keith flew back in from London to refilm that shoot. Just about every time we filmed, something crazy happened. But why don't we jump into the video right now and actually see according to production, scene by scene, what went on over there. Yes, we actually did blow up a real car. The fire department came down. They were not happy about it, but yeah, we blew up a real car. Scene 1 itself took 4 days to film. We had 1 day in the green screen, which actually we did a blue screen studio because the soldiers' uniforms were green, so we had to do a blue screen studio. We did 2 days filming out with the drone and the terrorists, and 1 day for blowing up the car. Yes, it takes time to blow up a car, but I think it's an epic opening of a movie. It really starts the movie off with a boom. The second scene was extremely difficult to film. We did it in Herzliya at a private beach. It was a very windy day, and there were huge waves. We had to tie the surfboards out in the ocean. We had weights on the bottom of the water. We had our divers out there. It was a very, very complicated scene to film. We filmed most of it using the drone, but all in all, it ended up being a very complicated. Every time we got out there, we tried to stabilize Keith on one of the surfboards. He would fall off. The waves would come up. We were under the water. It was a crazy, crazy, crazy scene. Keeping Keith's wig on was extremely difficult. Every time he jumped into the water or anything like that, the surfboards kept on floating away from the buoys, and everything was just very, very wild. It was also very difficult to communicate with the surfers out in the water. We were filming mainly with the drone. It was just very difficult scene to film. And Baruch Hashem, I am so happy that it ended up being an epic, epic scene. And it did give us a lot of bloopers too.
Hold it like this.
We did the flashback scenes, which were all very, very nice. We have the scene in Masada that happens to be, I think, the nicest scene in the entire film. On the way driving down to Masada, we actually had a very interesting story. I went from gas station to gas station. We were trying to fill up gas. We could not find a single open gas station. We ran out of gas near En Gedi. I drove up to Kibbutz En Gedi, hoping we could find somebody there with gas or something, and we found the security guard over there. He was a Bedouin security guard, or a Druze, one of those, and he gave me his car. I took his car. We took all the equipment down. Nothing fit. We didn't fit. We had a big car. We went into a small sports car. We jumped in. We pushed everybody, the cast, the crew, the actors, everybody in. We drove off, and actually my tefillin, I left it in his car. That day I got home, I already put on tefillin. We got home that night, I was looking for my tefillin. I could not find it. We had to drive back down, meet him. Baruch Hashem, I have my tefillin now. But that ended up being a beautiful, beautiful scene. And because there were no cable cars to take us up in the morning, in order to make it up for sunrise, we had to hike up. We all carried a bunch of very heavy equipment, the drone, the tripods, the dollies, everything that we needed, we carried it all up, the sound equipment. And Baruch Hashem, I think that it is the nicest scene in the entire film. The hospital scene, we actually used the ICU of Hadassah Ein Kerem.
3.
It took a lot of siyata d'shmaya and a bunch of connections, but we actually used the neurology ICU of Hadassah Ein Kerem. They did tell us before we started filming in there, if there's chas v'shalom an attack or a big accident or something, we're gonna have to stop on the spot and get out of there. It was a very, very complicated day of filming because we couldn't take out the entire ICU. The hospital still has to run. We couldn't get any patients into the picture, obviously. So we had to keep it exclusive to our cast and crew.
Come, let's do this again.
There were things going on. There was makeup. There was sound. There were people walking all over the place. We actually really did hook Keith up to all the machines. And all in all, it ended up being a very long day. We were filming, I think, for about 16, 17 hours straight in Hadassah Ein Kerem. The actors did a great job. Dr. Yoram Ari, who's the father, Keith's father. It ended up being a beautiful day. That scene that Keith tells his father that he plans on leaving to Eretz Yisrael. It was also really difficult because it was actually in the lobby of Hadassah in Karen, a brand new, gorgeous lobby. And to keep the sound and everything on par was just a very difficult scene. And Baruch Hashem, we wanted to do it real. We did it real. We got the real hospital, the real equipment, everything in there. And Baruch Hashem, it contributes to the professionalism of the Edge. We continue on to Tzvas. The house is actually not in Tzvas, it's in Yerushalayim, the house. That's my house officially. It wasn't my house, we got it donated by a very special family. No, they didn't actually donate the house, that would have been very nice. They let us film in there. But the scenes that you see us walking around Tzvas, we walked and walked and walked and filmed and filmed and filmed. It was beautiful, Baruch Hashem. That scene where Keith is trying to give Esti the esrog to eat took us hours to film because Esti refused to take the esrog. She took the bowl, she took this, she took that. At the end, we put chocolate onto the esrog. We put peanut butter, honey, everything. She refused to take it from Keith. But Baruch Hashem, at the end, we got a nice shot. Moving on to Simchas Beis Sheva in Stalin. We actually filmed it at Simchas Beis Sheva over there. Our biggest fear the entire time was that Keith's shaitel is going to fall off. We were sure it's going to fall off. He was jumping all over the place. But Baruch Hashem, at the end, he actually met his old mashkiach over there. That looks at him, he's like, Gavi, ma kara lecha, what happened to you? And he said, listen, I'm in university these days and whatever. His Rebbe got a good scare, but afterwards I think he told him, listen, I'm just acting. And I think his Rebbe is still confused. Keith goes to yeshiva in Yerushalayim. The yeshiva that we used was Birkas HaTorah. They were very, very nice to let us use it. It happens to be a beautiful and amazing yeshiva. It's in the old city. We filmed over there. We tried to cramp all the filming into 2-3 days, which ended up being extremely long with lots and lots of actors, with lots and lots of extras. So first of all, no cars are allowed into that area. Everything is walking. So we had to schlep. We had so much lighting equipment and so much sound equipment and everything over there. We had dollies. We brought everything along to the yeshiva because we wanted to get really nice shots. It was a pain in the neck to schlep everything there. We set up in the yeshiva. It ended up being beautiful. We shot so much in the yeshiva. We probably took out 5 scenes that we filmed in the yeshiva that are not in the film at all. We filmed over there with Rabbi Seltzer. We filmed over there with Rabbi Fleischer, who is the Rosh Hashiva. It ended up being a beautiful, beautiful part of the film, and I really thank Yeshiva Birkas HaTorah for letting us film over there in such a beautiful location. We had a lot of fun over there on set with all the extras, with all the actors, with everybody. It ended up being a lot of fun, and hence we have a lot of bloopers. We filmed straight till 4 o'clock in the morning, the first day of filming over there. We were all tired, we were all zank, but Baruch Hashem, we have an amazing product.
When it's Abra Hashanah, and the year was expecting.
You're so cute. Okay. Would you like some help with that?
Oh, what you on?
I learned that last year.
From heaven?
Well, I guess if I just happen to walk in here, then I guess I am. Zach.
Gav.
Yeah! Woo! I was waiting for that. Busted!
Keith continues on to Shidduchim. Originally, we were going to have computer-generated girls' voices over there. And you'll hear Keith speaking to a computer sounding like a girl. So you'll have Keith speaking to a girl while we show the gorgeous scenery that we filmed on every day. It was right before I came back to America when we were done with filming, and Rabbi Seltzer calls me once a Shabbos. He says, Baruch, I feel uncomfortable about doing it. And I'm thinking about it. I say, you know something? I think you're right. There are people out there that are sensitive in my community, we happen not to date, we happen to do shows or whatever. We don't discuss these things. And we agreed upon that instead of actually having the boy talk to the girl, we're going to have the boy talking to his Rebbe about the date. So I quickly went to Beitar, that's where the Rosh Hashiva Rabbi Shiner lives. I went out to Beitar, I recorded him. Then we recorded Rabbi Seltzer. And Baruch Hashem, it may actually take away a little bit of the realness of the film, a little bit of the emotion of the drama. But V'yom HaChanech HaKadosh, we wanted to stick with keeping it up to standard, that it should be a production that everybody feels comfortable with. And that's why we went along with that. We go on, Keith finding out that he's not allowed to get married. He's a mamzer, very simple, because his mother never got a get from her first husband before she married Keith's father. It was a mistake. She thought, she didn't know, she wasn't from. Acting out drama scenes are very difficult. It's because you're putting yourself in a situation that you're not in, and that's basically what we did. Every drama scene, we all got depressed, we all got sad, we all thought about sad things. It was very, very interesting the way we did our drama scenes. Keith did an amazing job, but it's awkward, and we try so many different expressions, so many different motions. He's banging the pillow, you see at one point. He did so many different things. We did many different things to see how we could get the right dramatic reactions, and Baruch Hashem, Keith pulled it off with flying colors.
Because there's behind you on my floor. Good. Shoes off. We'll take care of you once you're late. You're not being in the shot. Keith. I'm not in the shot? You're not in the shot. Okay, move out of the way. I need to cry. Get back in bed. Zach, you need to cry though.
We move on to the bulldozer. The bulldozer was actually Keith's father. Also an amazing actor. Keith's entire family, the whole family, his mother happens to make big shows. Amazing actors.
3, 2, 1, action.
Anyway,
To the casinos in Jersey.
we filmed it in a house in Ramat Beit Shemesh. Thank you, Ellis Stefanski, for giving your house for that. It was a very nice house. He did a phenomenal job with acting. It was on a Motzei Shabbos that we filmed those scenes straight till Sunday morning. But it was on a Motzei Shabbos, and it was just it was a lot of fun. I think it was one of the most fun scenes to film.
Very well, like a baby's cheek. You gotta stop the scene, dude. They're going like a baby's cheek. Are you taking
Action.
Welcome in my baby.
Nothing on you, Kevin.
What happened? That is the first time. Something. Everything is perfect.
We move on. We have Tovia, which plays the part of Derek, and we have Mendy, which plays the part of Kevin. Tovia is actually about Shuva. I met him in Or Sameach, and he was interested in acting. Yaakov Prupis, which is actually the Arab terrorist in the beginning, he was a Rebbe over there in Or Sameach. He told me that he has this guy, Tovia, that's really interested in acting. Tovia is about Shuva right now. Baruch Hashem, right now he's married with a kid, with a little boy. He came a long way, Baruch Hashem. When I met him first, he just started off in Yeshiva Or Sameach, and now Baruch Hashem, he's happily married with a kid. They did a phenomenal job. I'm not going to speak much about Tovia's past and how he knew how to act like a gangster so well, because I'm not sure that he wants me to talk about that. But Tovia was great at doing what he needed. So was Mendy, who happens to be a personal trainer. He's also a member of Hatzalah in Eretz Yisrael. They both did a phenomenal job beating Keith up. After that, we move on to the bulldozer trying to get rid of Keith. The first day that we filmed that scene, we filmed 2 scenes in one day. It actually took 2 days to film, but we kept on mixing both of those scenes up. The scene where Kevin and Derek hold Tovia over the bridge over there by Shar Yafa. We'll be here before our first shot. We got stuck with a flat tire right in front of about a couple of thousand angry Arabs rioting. all over here to my left. Yeah, and hopefully we'll continue soon. To our first shot. On the way to film that, we got a flat tire and we were stuck. But where were we stuck? There were huge Arab riots over there by Shar Shechem, and we were stuck in front of a couple of thousand angry Arab rioters. Baruch Hashem, we had the police around us and nothing happened to us. That scene that you have Keith walking away from the Kaisel, we actually blocked off the main road coming down to the Kaisel, but it was late at night. We threw Keith over that overpass over there. We actually harnessed them up. Then we take out the string and post. I think on one of the shots on the phone you could actually see the harness. We harnessed them up, but we actually put them over the bridge over there.
I thought we're doing.
We went, if you see, from the chase till we put them over the bridge, it gets a lot lighter. We were filming and all of a sudden it turned day on us. We filmed straight through the entire night. That happened many times to us, and all of a sudden we see, hey, we got to stop filming. It's already light outside. It's not going to look the same. Say hi to the camera.
Oh no!
Hey. It's a bad idea. How was your night? How about you, man, dude?
Hey!
1 second. Filming the river waterfall scene over there where they have the chase with the kayaks was a crazy scene to film. First of all, it was a packed place. Obviously, we got permission to film there. We paid a lot of money to film over there. But still, he told me it's mid-season. He couldn't stop anybody from coming. So there were a lot of people over there. And A, we were running by and everything. People were scared. We had to keep that to a minimum. B, we had to make sure that nobody that's not supposed to be in the film, especially people that aren't dressed 100% the way they should be, we had to make sure they don't make it into the film. So it was a difficult day. Once we got to the water, it was crazy. The current was very strong. We could not keep the boats together. 1 second, Keith, you're overreacting a drop. Okay, guys, continue. And Timmy got stuck in the bushes. I have to stop. At the end, we nearly had a disaster. Tuvia actually fell over. Tuvia, playing the part of Derek, fell over the waterfall. He got sucked down. The waterfall isn't as big as it looks in the video, but he nearly drowned. We had to stop the filming for the day, and a few months later, I had to fly back to Eretz Yisrael to finish filming that scene. So we ended up doing the entire scene twice. It was probably the most difficult scene to film. There was a lot of obstacles. There were many obstacles pulling us down, but at the end, Baruch Hashem, it is a crazy scene. It's a phenomenal scene, or as Donald Trump would say, it's huge, or something like that. Okay, how was your experience almost dying?
That was scary. So it's very scary. I was being dragged down and smashed by rocks. Not good, bro. Not good. Damn it. Baruch Hashem, I'm still alive.
How you guys doing?
Boss
is not treating.
Finished our day here.
It's a giant terrapin, bro.
Keith got hurt, and Keith got a turtle.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
We'll call him Keith. From now on, your name is Keith, okay?
Is it a turtle or a giant terrapin?
I'm not sure.
Is it red underneath? Pick it up and see if it's red underneath.
No, it's not red underneath.
No, it's a turtle.
I finally caught him. The whole film I was on. I gave my love.
So, Tuvia, I mean, Derek, if you get your hands on Keith, what would you actually do to him? Keith then finds out that Nicole does not want to continue going out with him because she's afraid for him. Or that, at least that's how Keith says it. She's afraid for me. She's afraid for me. She's afraid for me. She's afraid for me. Something like that. Anyway, that was a very challenging scene to film regarding the acting. We filmed it straight through the night in front of Tachanah Merkazit, a very busy location. It's the climax of the film regarding drama, and it's a very emotional scene. We had to get Keith and Zach both to try to be as serious as possible. They're both extremely fun-loving people, so that was difficult. It ended up being very dramatic, very emotional. After a lot of bloopers, and the drone actually, while we were filming with the drone over there in that scene, something took it over and flew it away somehow. It was a very funny, weird story. But Baruch Hashem, it's the climax of the drama in the film. And I think that everybody watching it really feels with that part of the film. Saying goodbye is a difficult thing. We all have to say goodbyes in our life. And I think that's one part of the film that everybody feels. I can't get married.
I can't get married. I can't have kids. And he's saying that God loves me, God cares about me. I'm done with this stupid, dumb religion.
Come back, cut. 1, action.
What are you doing?
I'm pretending I'm on that
bed. Just don't move.
He was moving the whole time before you.
No. 3, 2. Move it, drop more to the side. 3, 2.
Hold on a second.
3, 2, 1, action.
Zach.
Cut. The boom went right in front.
Then comes the Eilat scene. The scene in the Oceanarium where we have Keith meets Zach for the first time in a year or whatever. And it's also where the suicide bomber almost kills Keith and Zach. This is the climax of the film. And just like it's the climax of the film, it was the climax of production. First of all, to get the aquarium to let us film over there took numerous phone calls. Both I had to call and Rabbi Seltzer called many times until we actually got permission. They have thousands of people there every single day. Thousands of people. And to give us permission so that we could film there, we had to have lots of siyata d'shmaya, and we had to push until we got a connection to be able to film over there.
Aren't they looking? Where are they looking? They're looking at the front where they should be looking. You guys are looking at me.
The filming itself, we had a very large cast and crew over there. We had lots of people. We had just 3-4 cameramen just filming, plus sound and lighting. We had to get everybody together, and it was beautiful. We got there one day. We all slept in a hotel together. It was very nice. We were up 6 o'clock the next morning. We were filming. We had to get everybody together. Everybody worked as a unit. Now we had some really difficult challenges. First of all, you have the fight scene. So Keith and Maimon, who is the terrorist, a great guy. They choreographed it with a martial artist for a full week, and they practiced the fight sequence over and over. And the way we film it is, they have the sequence and they throw the punches extremely close, and they react according to what happens to them. And we filmed it first from many different angles. We filmed the entire sequence, and then we got the close-up shots of every single move. Just that took a long time. One of the times Keith actually fell down and he hurt himself very, very badly. We were actually scared that we're going to have to stop filming for the day. Baruch Hashem, he was able to stand up and continue filming.
Oh gosh.
Bend down. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Good. Sit down. Deep breath. Sit back. Deep breath, hands up.
When you hurt?
Circumference chest, his back.
Solar plexus?
We had another problem. It's Eretz Yisrael. We gave a scream terrorist and people ran. People actually thought that there was a real terrorist over there. As many times as we told them, and we had the cameras and the lights and the drone and everything else, people still ran away. So that was complicated. And then we put the suicide belt onto Maimon, the terrorist, and they almost threw us out of the aquarium. Baruch Hashem, I was able to continue. I asked them, please this, that. We continued filming over there, and the part where the terrorist gets thrown into the water, we got no permission to do that. They would never give us permission, so we saved that for the end of the day. At the end of the day, we threw him in. That's a place for endangered fish or something. We threw him in. We thought that it might be a shark tank, but at the end it wasn't. We threw him in over there, and we had a plan to get him out. But it turned out to be very difficult, and it took quite some time to get him out of the water.
Gotta open it up from the side.
So really, how was it?
Honestly, much less scarier than we all thought it would be. It was just like jump and then you just hit the water. I kind of lost my heart in the air over there. Everything just dropped, but
That would be like dying in a terrorist attack. I mean, blowing yourself up.
yeah. Well, at least you saved a lot of Jews over there.
Now, just so you understand what has transpired since we started working on the film till now, Avram Nosson Cohn, who is our cinematographer, After Effects, he was our cinematographer, effects artist, and just about everything else, graphic artist. He's the one that made this film actually happen. He got married and had 2 kids, Kanai Nahara, Baruch Hashem, since we started filming. Zach is married with a kid. Aaron Ehrentroy, who is the manager of production, has since gotten married with a kid. Keith, well, he's not sure if he's allowed to get married. But Baruch Hashem, we had an amazing, amazing time. We've gotten together, many of us, I think all of us, still keep in touch with each other. It was huge, the film, and Baruch Hashem, we have something that we never thought we could put together. And it's called The Edge.